Hello, everybody. Welcome to The Warp. I'm Jack Reed with Future Pastimes. And this is the third video in a series of ones that showcase components that were designed for a proposed 8th expansion to Cosmic Encounter that ultimately Fantasy Flight has decided not to pursue, at least not at this time. So I wanted to show people what was going to be in that expansion because I'm pretty excited about what it was. I'm pretty proud of what we were able to accomplish. So we're looking at the main variant of the expansion, which is Special Systems, and this was meant to be a reimagining and an improvement on the old reverse hex systems variant that was first introduced in the 9th Eon expansion for Cosmic Encounter. It was part of the base game in the Mayfair edition as just the flip side of the system hexes. And each player had a unique system with certain advantages. So that's what's going on here. So we're going to take a look at another 7 of the special systems of the proposed 42 systems that were going to be in that expansion. And check out the other 2 videos in the series to learn a little bit more about it and about the artwork that was also part of it. So I'm going to dive right in. We're going to take a look at some of these systems. So our first one up is the Quark system. And this was actually inspired by a variant that is on the Warp. It was like Quark challenge cards, or what eventually became known as encounter cards. So this was inspired by that idea. So you're going to have your planets set up, normal, even distribution of your ships, and you have these 3 Quark tokens, an up, a strange, and a down Quark. And so after hands are dealt, you can place any attack card from your hand on your Quark system sheet. And then in any regroup, if you don't have one there, you can use it. And I think the idea was that the card on the sheet is considered part of your hand, so you still eventually have to play it. It would be subject to compensation, and I think that text still needed to be added to this playtest one. But the way it works is as a main player in the Destiny phase, when another player encounters you in this system, or you encounter a player who has a colony in the system, you place one of your Quark tokens face up on the attack card, and in the reveal phase, any revealed attack cards on both sides are going to be altered by the Quark. And so afterward, discard the attack card and turn the Quark face down. You regain use of the face down Quark when you play a different one on a subsequent. So you couldn't do the same one twice in a row, but you can alternate. So if you have the up Quark, the attack cards that are revealed that are lower than the one on the sheet, then they're going to all be plus 10. So let's say you put an attack 12 here, and you play a 10, then and reveal it, then it would be a 20. But this is information that everybody knows. So you basically, with the Quark system, you are having a little bit more agency over your own hand. It could have unintended consequences for the other players, but at least you're giving yourself a fighting chance. If you have the down Quark, then any attack card that is valued higher than the one on the sheet is actually minus 10. And then if you use the strange Quark, then any card that's within 10 of the card will be counted as a negotiate. So, and the colors here reflect that a little bit. The one where there more is red, down is blue, and then green for negotiate is the strange one. So I enjoy the Quark system. It behaves quite a bit differently than a lot of the other systems, but it does give, I think, the edge to the Quark player. Because they can look at their hand and they can know, all right, well, if all I have is an 8 and I've got this 10, so I can put the 10 on here, use the up Quark, and that 8 will now be an 18. So it gives you some agency over that, which I enjoy. All right, our second one is called the Nomad system. So as you can see in the little top left corner, where the diagram of how to arrange your normal player color planets with any of the component ones, there's nothing there for the Nomad system. So the way this works is you do not have any home planets, and your Destiny cards are removed from the game before you start. All of your ships are on the sheet, so all their ships are over here. So whenever a special destiny would indicate your system, it is treated as if your system doesn't exist, so it just gets ignored. When you would return ships to colonies, you may send any of them to the sheet. and any game effect that targets your ships on colonies, you may instead target your ships on the sheet, so you can protect your colonies from other game effects. So the idea with the Nomad system is that you are just basically hiding from everybody else. You're immune to a lot of the other effects. You don't ever have to worry about being on the defense. It does mean that it's harder for you to make deals. So if that is, the secret to your success, the Nomad system is not for you. But this is a good for somebody who wants to kind of fly under the radar. And with certain alien powers, this is going to be a pretty good system to have. So yeah, this is a non-confrontational system, just a different idea. It's certainly not going to be to everyone's taste, but I enjoy it for its variety and unique effect. All right, next we have the Destiny system. So as you can see from the diagram there, you're going to have some Destiny cards associated with each planet. So before any other special destinies are added to the game, like the world ships or invader, but after any cards are removed, because that happens with some of them, you're going to draw 5 cards from the Destiny deck, as long as you don't have one of your color, which you'll redraw if you do, and you're going to assign one face down to each of these planets. And then as the defense, when your opponent aims the hyperspace gate, you may reveal a Destiny card there, and that's going to have some effects there. So if the card is a color not matching the offense, then the player whose color is on the card becomes the defense, and any ships that they have on the targeted planet are now defensive ships. So in a lot of cases, they're just going to be defending with no ships. So you are no longer having to worry about it. Your ships there are now bystanders. And you are just, this is also a non-confrontational system. You are putting it on somebody else to deal with it. And if the Destiny card matches the color of the offense, then the encounter ends immediately, but it's a success. If the Destiny card is wild, you choose the color. And so if it's special Destiny, you just determine whoever the defense would be, that is treated as what the color is. So if the offense wins the encounter, then Destiny card is discarded. And if they lose, then it remains there face up, so everyone will know in the future. So, for example, if we flip this one over, we know that purple is no, that's a special Destiny. Another one of these is purple. Well, you get red. So we know that red is going to be the defense if anybody attacks here. So red is going to be like, well, I don't know if I want it. Well, they know that it's an automatic success for them. So. So yeah, just another weird kind of effect on how things play out, and a way for you to dodge any responsibility, keep your home colonies pretty safe, so you can actually end up having, leaving just maybe one ship there, and you have more ships that you can use on offense and as an ally. So that's kind of what you're getting out of that. Next, we have the mineral field system. So you're going to have 2 cosmic tokens on the sheet. During any regroup, you may discard a token to gain a reward. Now, at the end of any encounter in this system, you're going to add 1 cosmic token to the sheet for each ship that was sent to the warp from the losing side of the encounter, as long as one side had a loser. So this is just a resource system. You're just going to be getting rewards, and but people who end up having encounters here are going to tend to want to send fewer ships, so that you are going to get less out of it. So that just has an interesting dynamic on the system. So this one's pretty straightforward. That's why it's a green alert. But yeah, you're just going to be getting a lot of stuff, and people maybe are going to be more interested in making deals than trying to give you some stuff. So I like that aspect as well. All right, moving right along, we have the debris system. So whenever you win an encounter as the defense, you're going to take a card at random from the cosmic deck discard pile for each ship the opposing side had in the encounter. That's all of the opposing ships, and you're going to add them to your hand. And if you make a deal in the system, then you may allow each of the main players to gain up to 3 cards at random from the cosmic deck discard pile as part of the deal. So you can weave that into a deal if you so choose. So yeah, the debris system, you're going to be getting stuff that's been discarded. You're going to be picking up and adding it to your hand. And so it does incentivize you to win as the defense, which a lot of times people, it's a little bit give and take. You're like, as long as I'm not losing my power, maybe I will use this encounter to play a card that I don't think I want to ever have to play as offense. And so here it's going to turn that around a little bit, especially because you might be arming yourself with some good stuff that people have used earlier. And then people might be trying to hold on to their 30s and 40s and whatnot until later in the game. So when there's a bigger discard pile, so you're less likely to get that stuff. So that has a nice ripple effect on the game. All right, this one was one of the favorites among many of the playtesters, the shell system. So you're going to take your 5 shell tokens and place them face down on each of your planets. Now, 3 of these are duds. That's what the X are. There's one that's a single colony and one that is a double colony. So what's going to happen is whenever, as soon as somebody has reached 5 colonies on the scoring track, you're going to reveal your shell tokens. And any player who is on a dud planet, it counts as a home colony, not a foreign colony. So they're going to have to adjust their score if they have a foreign colony on that planet. Anybody who has a colony on the single colony one, that just acts as a normal. And of course, the double colony one acts as 2 colonies. So you're going to adjust the scoring track as it says here, and this may result in the game not being over if there's a lot of people on dud planets, or somebody might have won by more than they needed, or you might have multiple winners just if a lot of people are on the double shell planet. So deal making is quite interesting here for this player, as they're like, well, I'll give you a colony on this planet right here, and you're like, oh, why? What are you doing? Because if this is a dud, then I'm not getting anything. And so, yeah, this really has an interesting impact on the game. So I really enjoy the shell system. A little bit of the shell game is what's going on there. All right, our next system here, and I guess this is our last system, is the Vanguard system. And so this will be familiar to a lot of people who've been on Board Game Geek or have perused the Warp. A long time ago, I had an alien called Vanguard that did essentially what this special system is doing. And there was a point where people, this would be a better idea as a system rather than an alien, and I certainly agreed. And it's gone through a few revisions, but here's how it works. You're going to have one planet out in front of the others, and that is the Vanguard planet. And you start with 4 of your ships on it, but you'll be able to move ships on and off like you would any of your other colonies. So whenever another player attacks your system, after they've loaded the hyperspace gate, but before pointing it, they have to actually first encounter the Vanguard planet. You have a little mini encounter. And aliens that use their power in the planning or reveal phases are not activated because you're not actually technically in that phase yet. You're still in the launch phase. So if you, as the Vanguard player, you win or enter a deal situation, you're going to get rewards, and they're defender rewards here. So if you're using my special defender reward cards, you can access those. But you're going to get, for each one of your ships on the Vanguard planet, you're going to get those rewards. And then if you lose, then the player, they either proceed with the encounter or they can collect rewards equal to the number of ships that you have on the Vanguard planet, and it counts as a successful encounter. So they might decide, you know what, I'd rather get some rewards, and end my turn if it was their second encounter, or flip destiny again, and maybe they'll have a better luck, with the reward cards that they've gotten. So that's how the Vanguard system works. And if you don't have any ships on there, you still have to do it. You're just not going to get anything. And the only way to get your ships back on the Vanguard planet is the way you would get them onto any of you have to basically flip your own color and then just claim that planet. Can't have shared colonies here, so you really only have 4 planets, but that's plenty. And you still need to maintain 3 of your home planets here. This doesn't really count as one of them. So, there's some give and take there, but you should be able to get some good rewards, because players, they're going to be like, oh, do I use my really good encounter card just to get past you and then have an encounter? Maybe they have a couple of good cards, and maybe they're more interested in making a deal here, knowing that you're going to get some rewards for making the deal, but at least they can get a colony out of that deal. So I think the Vanguard system is a really good system. I enjoy it a lot. I've played it quite a bit. I played it when it was just an alien power, and I liked it then. So I think it does make a great system. But let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think of this batch of sevens. This is a little more unusual than some of the other ones. I'm not going any particular order, although I have saved a couple of the really wackadoo ones for the last batch. But yeah, some of these are quite a bit different from the ones in the first two videos. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. We'll get through all of the special systems, and then I'll do a video where we'll start looking at the aliens, because there were going to be quite a few aliens in this expansion as well. And let me know what you think of the artwork. Again, this is my son did this art. I think he did a great job. It really captures exactly what I wanted these systems to look like. And I think it fits in pretty well with the whole aesthetic of Cosmic Encounter. And so, yeah, not as many special tokens in this one. In a Quark and the shell system, these are just using cosmic tokens. Nomad system, of course, has nothing. But I wanted I wanted to have at least one special system that used the Destiny cards in some way, and so that's what I ended up with here. So that's it for this one, everyone. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.